Welcome back to Real House DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to replace this old dimmer switch. This one's an older style, made to work with incandescent light bulbs. I'm upgrading to LED lights, so I'm going to replace this with the Lutron toggler. Reason why I'm going from the rocker switch back to the toggle switch, even though I really like this style. The one annoying thing about these rocker switches, this one clicks fairly quietly, but you can never tell, especially with the dimmer ones. They come in packaging that you can't open them and test them out ahead of time. They can be really loud, the clicking noise. That's the main reason why I'm switching back to the toggle dimmer switch. Minimal tools needed for this project. I'm just going to use some needle nose pliers, flathead screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and also because I'm going from the rocker switch to a toggle switch, I'll have to replace this wall plate. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the power. Easy with overhead lights. You just leave this turned on. Go switch the breaker on the breaker panel, and so you can confirm power's off when the lights are off. So power's off now. I did go and get a bright light. There's not quite enough light in this room, so you may or may not need that. Confirm the power's off. Overhead lights not turning on. Here's the replacement. This is a Lutron toggler dimmer switch, made for LEDs, incandescent, halogen, also has dimming range. I like to turn that all the way down, so your LED lights will get the same low dimming as your old incandescent lights did. Got my replacement wall plate. You'll notice there's different sizes for these wall plates, so you want to get one that's either the same size or larger if you're going to be replacing it. You don't know if there's going to be a little bit of damage or different color paint right behind this plate. This is the one that I've been upgrading to throughout my house. This is the Midway 3/8 inch larger size, and it's nylon, unbreakable. So you can tighten down these screws all you want. You're not going to break this wall plate. It will get pushed in a little bit, maybe look a little funny, but it's not going to break. You can then back the screws out, get a nice fit. And you can see this one, it's just slightly larger than the old plate, maybe 1/8 inch larger than the old plate all the way around. So first, with power removed, take my flathead screwdriver, take those wall plate screws out. Next, your old switch may be painted over, so you want to score around there just to make sure you're not going to damage the wall when you take this off or peel any paint off. Next, I have Phillips head screws. Take those out for the switch. So now the switch is loose from the wall. Take that out. You can immediately see this is an older style. This one specifically for incandescent lights. It has the ground and the two black wires, and this is what you want to see. So that means it's switching the hot like it's supposed to, not switching the neutral. So that means your line power is coming to the switch before going up to the lights. And then in the back you can see all the neutrals are tied together. Go ahead and open up your new switch. And that's it right there. Right away I'm going to turn this dimmer range all the way to low. You can still adjust it as much as you want before you put that wall plate back on after. So a small piece of paper inside the box has a wiring diagram. And you can see we have two brass screws, copper screw, and the ground. Shows the one on the top is by itself. That's going to be for a three-way connection only. Go ahead and screw that in first. I'm not going to be using that for this setup. So I'm only going to be using these bottom two screws. And it shows the line, which is the power, in my case coming up from the basement, goes to the copper. So there's the copper screw. And it shows the brass screw from the bottom going up to the light. There's the brass screw on that side, same side as the ground. So I can see on the old dimmer switch, you can see exactly the wire that's going up to the lights. And this one goes down, power from the basement. So this one right here is the line. Will get connected to the copper screw on the new dimmer switch. So here we have the copper screw, and you want that to wrap around the direction that you're tightening the screw. And tighten that up. You got the other wire. Same thing, this is going to wrap around the screw in the direction that you tighten it. Depending on the condition of the wire, you might need to cut this and strip the wire back. Tighten down this screw. And finally for the ground. For that, 2 wires going together. First, good practice, you twist the wires together first. So all the wires are connected. I carefully tuck these into the box. And then screw the switch to the box. You want both centered and plumb level. And sometimes if those wires in the back of the box are pulling the switch to the left or the right, you may need to fix that to make this look nice on the wall. So that looks pretty good. Before putting this wall plate on, I'm going to turn on power. I'm going to keep the light switch off for now. So I've got power back on. Turn on the lights. You can see we have power. And now this is where we want to adjust this dimmer range. When you have the dimmer range turned all the way down and the dimmer switch all the way down, you want to check your lights. Make sure that they turn both on and off in that lowest part of the range. Because sometimes we'll cut it off if it's not a good match with the LED light bulbs, for example. And right here, you might have no light at all turning on and off at this low range. In which case, you turn this up just a tiny bit. And you want to be able to see that light turn on and off. So on mine, turn this down all the way. And with the dimmer turned all the way down, turn the light on with dimmer range all the way low and the dimmer all the way low. And you can just barely see that light turn on. That is extremely low dimming right there. Now if that's too low for you, you can change the dimming range to whatever minimum dimness that you want when the dimmer switch is turned all the way down. I prefer to have the lowest dimming that you can possibly have. You can see it turn off and back on at that very low dimming. Turn the dimmer switch all the way up. And you still have the full brightness. Here at the full brightness, I'll turn the dimmer range up again. And you can see that it does not change. So you still have full brightness and you have full dimming capability in the low range. Now that I have that dimmer switch set exactly where I want it, in my case, turned all the way low, go ahead and add your wall plate. So we're done. Very easy job to complete that and adjust your Lutron toggle or dimmer switch. It works equally well for the new LED lights and the old incandescents. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.